morning's session was about getting chamber members, rail forum members and other rail companies to talk about the prospects given the different scenarios for Thameslink and Bombardier. So we're looking at how we can support the total rail cluster in Derby and Derbyshire based on, do Bombardier close and leave? Do Bombardier get some more work and there's something else that can support them, which we think is doubtful? Or do Bombardier get the Thameslink contract, in which case what does that mean for their suppliers? Yes, it would, for two reasons. Firstly, they are the only manufacturer of trains in the UK, and secondly, they are probably still the biggest employer in the rail industry. A straw poll that we did of Rail Forum members when the Thameslink announcement came out showed that at least half of them supply Bombardier, and of those at least half are dependent on Bombardier. So if Bombardier were to close, we could expect a fair proportion of those companies to either reduce severely or even leave. Well, the contract still hasn't been awarded finally to Siemens, and there are still things that we can go through with government, with MPs and with civil servants to see how we can get the decision taken back and reassessed. Nothing's been signed with Siemens, they're at preferred bidder status, and there are still things that this government could do to go back a couple of stages, reconfigure the contract and ask Siemens and Bombardier to give them adjusted bids. And that, I think, is our best chance of getting the whole thing reopened and the prospect of Bombardier then picking up the contract and the work.
Really pleased this morning to have everybody pitching in very positively and demonstrating that there's still an awful lot that we can do to try and get this decision reversed and also to advance the needs of the rail sector in Derby and Derbyshire. I think the unity of purpose is impressive. I think it's making sure that we actually harness all of that energy together to make sure that it is entirely constructive and productive going forward. And I think that was one of the useful things that has actually come out of this morning, because you had nearly all parties here within the room, and we've captured, I think, a lot of good ideas that we can use forward in our campaigning. So our next step is clearly we're now preparing for the mass lobby of Parliament on the 7th of September, when we'll be running a train down to the House of Parliament when the Select Committee on Rail Procurement will be meeting, and also we'll be participating in the party conferences to try and influence particularly Conservative and Lib Dem MPs to come on board and to overturn this decision to Bombardier. I think it was very powerful what Chris Williamson had to say earlier on about what a previous Conservative government did in 1971 when, to save Rolls-Royce, they nationalised the company. If the government want to save the rail industry, they need to reverse this decision. This has been an impressive partnership working, certainly between Derby City Council, who put an awful lot of effort into this, the Derby and Derbyshire Rail Forum, and also colleagues at the Chamber of Commerce.